Then there's Hill. Then it's Ellis. And it's George in at the 3. Amari Stoudemire, with a change of scenery last season, was bought out by the Knicks, signed with the Mavs midway through the season.
That was the best thing to happen to Stoudemire, in my opinion, Kevin. He got to play playoff basketball again, and we know that wasn't going to happen in New York.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. Dang against Hill. Out to the wing. Stoudemire, the pass to Winslow. Misses the 3. Indiana trailing here. Stuckey kicks to Lawson. Pass to Hill. Back to Lawson. Fires the 3. They get the rebound. An easy 2 points on the layup. Lawson's got his first 2 points of the night.
The lead changes hands once more. There has been no separation between these two teams.
You know, it's made for one heck of an entertaining game. Even when it hasn't been the best basketball being played, it sure has been fun to watch.
And the wide open shot from Stuckey. And the 3 off target. Amy's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Lawson against Johnson. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Yeah, it's going to be on Miles' turn.
Yeah, the defender all over.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
One-on-one here. Here's Green, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
And here we go. Wade heading to the hoop. Oh!
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed him.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season.
And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. Indiana also making some changes. Paul George, he's checked in for C.J. Miles. Ellis comes in for Rodney Stuckey. And George Hills subbed in for Ty Lawson. From deep, Richardson. That's it, coming off an assist from Dragic. Richardson's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And, you know, as you said, the Pacers did have problems with injuries. The team roster missed 219 games due to injury. So compare that to the 69 games missed by the Pacers in 2014. Big difference. Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Stoudemire with the screen on Hill. Dragic gets to Dang. The dish to Stoudemire. Good ball movement here by Miami. Has him a screen on Hill. Dragic, no luck. And Indiana will go the other way with it.
And really, guys, the most telling part of the Pacers' injury troubles was this. Had to use 15 different starting lineups over the course of the season. Just hard to stay consistent and competitive when you are always replacing an injured player in the lineup.
And Hill over to help. And the Heat call time here.
And it was a very public falling out between Goran Dragic and the Suns front office. That was a real tense few weeks there before ultimately he was traded.
And, of course, Dragic was traded to Miami last season. Said he felt betrayed by the Suns front office, which spurred him wanting out of Phoenix and to South Florida.
Yeah, you know what? We'll never know the whole truth about that situation, but Dragic said they told him one thing with personnel and did something else.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Whiteside's checked in for Stoudemire. Josh McRoberts comes in for Udonis Haslem. Gerald Green, he's checked in for Lou Albano. And Dwayne Wade subbed in for Richardson. Here's Hill. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
Dragic with a wide open look. Misses the three. Pacers trail by 5. It's stolen by Green. Jumps up. Oh, and that one, no question. Powered it down. Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying hard to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Yeah, I would have to say there are a lot of questions right now from a defensive standpoint. That's for sure.
Over to the wing. There's Dragic with the 3. Offensive rebound. Wade outside. The kick out to Dragic. Passes to McRoberts. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old home one-hander.
Monte Ellis has always had a knack for the big shot. When things are on the line, he is a guy that is not afraid to step up.
And Kevin, last season, he had a number of big second halves and fourth quarters for the Mavs. Really took over that primary scoring role from Dirk Nowitzki. Stole a lot of games for them last season.
That one goes. Count. Nick Roberts has got the lead up to 7 now for Miami.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
George with no one around. Cranes it from beyond the arc. George has got 7 points here in this quarter.
He's picking up right where he left off in the first quarter.
12 seconds left to play here in the half. Poked away. And now Ellis running the floor all by himself. Wade with the clock. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Heat out front, up by 4. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline.
Kevin, up.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. They never dug too deep a hole. And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to...
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far.
George having a fantastic game. 18 points, and from downtown, he's buried 3 3-pointers.
Well, when he squared himself up and gotten good looks, he's knocked them down.
Dragic is joined in the backcourt by Wade. Josh McRoberts out there with Whiteside, and it's Green in at the small forward. That's the group in the game for the Heat. Well, you look back at the 2015 Heat, and the injuries are what probably brought that team down. We can go from Chris Bosh with the debilitating blood clot in his lung and on and on and on. The loss, of course, which was not an injury, of LeBron James. There are a lot of moving parts with that team.
And that's a great point, Kevin. If you take any star off of teams, things are going to get difficult. It was impressive that the Heat still managed to stay competitive once Bosh went out.
Timeout called the Heat.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Let's spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
And 20 different players started at least one game.
And injuries are something that you can't plan for, but you can prepare for them. And hopefully the Heat can avoid injury woes this season. If they can, they at least have players who have been through that struggle last year.
And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. Dragic gets the bucket.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
And it's George missing. The Heat leading by 3. Outside Dragic. He dishes it to McRoberts. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. McRoberts has got 9 points.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If the shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Dragic dishes to Whiteside. Whiteside a screen. Here's the line to the hoop. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Green against George. Green with the block. And it's Mahimi finishing it off. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. It's Dragic with the drive. And count the basket. He is fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
And one of Goran Dragic's greatest traits, Greg, excelling in the open court. High energy point guard, a lot like you, speed to burn, very smart guy, coveted by many.
He really is. And Kevin, he transitions from defense to offense as quickly as anyone in the league, a la Tony Parker, except he's also equally adept at facilitating for others and spotting up for the 3, or just taking it to the rack himself.
Made with it, picked up by Ellis. Gets the pass to Green.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right. I tell you what, I used to love to go up and jam like that. Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Toonk loose. Oh, and here we go. Ellis has got the fast break chance. Had the opportunity on the break, but couldn't sink the 3. And the call will be against George Hill. That's foul number 2 for him. Dragic kicks to McRoberts. And Mahimi with the block. Ellis right side. Great D that time from Green.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Reverses, and it's Miami with the rebound.
A real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costing. D-Wade with an excellent pass there.
Pacers trail by 6.
And the Pacers just missed out on the playoffs last year and would have to settle for 9th in the East. Hard for a team that has been so dominant in the East over recent seasons.
Inside.